Welcome to Dad.org. Dad.org is a platform for buying and selling anything, anywhere, anytime. So, making money the really easy way. In fact, it's easier than falling asleep.
It's swift, secure, and easy. Dad.org, transforming lives.
Welcome to DTM TV Enyanya, and this is Real Truth. Today I am having a wonderful guest for you, my brother Michael Kobina, and we are going to discuss some few issues about the unity of Africa. Now, before we start, I want to thank all of you who have been following us and sharing our videos and liking. And if you haven't done so, please stop a little bit, share, like, and subscribe so that you know every time we upload a new video. My brother Michael Kobina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, brother.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I am fine, thank you. Now, I want us to discuss a little bit today about the unity of Africa, as we've been discussing. And I don't know, what do you think? But we've had so many things happening on the continent, which requires that we don't have two options. We have only one option: to unite.
Yes.
Any thought
Yes.
about the same?
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you very much once again, and greetings to your audience. And I'm glad to be back here on your channel. And to the question of the unity of Africa, and there is no other way than just the only way, which is to unite. Like you said, we don't have any two options. We only have one option. And until we realize that and fulfill that option, we will still be out there trying to make it individually, but it will come back to square one. That is to nothing. It will not amount to anything, because if we were to be united, who is who to say that Madagascar's COVID organic is not yet proven? While the people on the ground are taking it and are surviving, are getting healed from this so-called virus, but who, the so-called World Health Organization and the powers that be, are trying to play the old trick of Africans not knowing anything, and therefore anything African is not good. But now look at how many countries and leaders who are in support of this COVID organic, because we are disunited. We are not in unity. But the only thing that we have to remember, that black is black, and whether you sit on the table with the UN, the powers that be, you will still not be treated the same. You will still
because the recent happenings around the world, like what happened in China the other day, showed us that it doesn't matter. All these barriers and we have had on the continent are just artificial. And the people around outside here, they don't treat us as Ghanaian, as Congolese, as Kenyan, as South African. They simply treat us as black. It doesn't matter even if you are coming from Canada or Europe or America, you are still black. But then the question is, how are we going to unite if we are still speaking the language of the colonizer, and the continent is divided, the Francophone, the Anglophone, the Lusophone, and see, like a person from Congo to discuss anything to do with anything with his brother or sister in Ghana or Nigeria, they have to use these foreign languages. Of course we need, but I don't know what you have to say about this barrier of language on the continent.
Yes, thank you very much. That is a very, very vital and an important place to attached because that is the only way that we can be united and be able to communicate. And there is unity in communication. When you speak your mind and I understand you and I can fully, even not to agree with you, but because you spoke my language, and therefore I see you as part of me, although you have a diverse opinion. Africa needs to identify itself with its own language, not the colonial masters' languages. Because with the colonial masters' languages, you have been told and you have been made to believe that you are English because you are from Ghana. You are
Anglophone,
French.
right?
You are French because you are from Congo. You are English because you are from Kenya. You are Portuguese because you are from Angola or Mozambique.
But then the question there that you are English because you are from Ghana, you are French because you are from Congo. That's not what we see. Those of us who are living in the West here, because you are speaking English or you are speaking French, it doesn't make you any different. They don't respect you. They don't treat you even as a human being. So how are we French or English then?
Yes, that is what I'm trying to say, is that it is a big lie that we have bought into. It is a big lie that when they come to you and they need you to do something for their interest, they present themselves that you are one of them. But when they go behind the scenes or when something occurs, then you are made to know that you are all one, and therefore we will treat you all the same with no respect. Yes.
Because in the West here,
the barrier countries that they have created for us, it makes you believe that, oh, you have affiliation to this, because you will always see your president, my president from Ghana, and his vice president, when they have any health issues, they don't go to the French, they don't go to Paris, they go to London.
Yeah.
Because, yes, they go to London, and therefore you are made to have affiliation with them over there in Britain. Meanwhile, when the British meet the French behind the scenes, they know that they don't have any difference between them. They know that the African is an African. There's no French, because they created these artificial barriers, and therefore when they are dealing with us, they deal with us in the same way, because you can never see the French treating the Congolese different from the way the British treat the Nigerian or the Ghanaian. They all treat us the same.
When you come here with a Nigerian or Ghanaian passport, they don't look at it that the Ghana was colonized by the English people, then you are giving some special treatment. You are treated as the same like any other black person coming from the continent.
Yes. Yes, brother. So it is until we get to know that this is a fallacy. It is just a way of us feeling our source of being or being part of them, but that is actually not the reality on the ground, or amongst them there is nothing like they being part of us.
But this you and I, we know this now, and we have realized this because of traveling around the world and seeing what is happening. But our brothers and sisters who are on the continent, in most cases, you see, they worship other people and think like they are special. They don't know what kind of treatment the people like them get outside here, whether you're talking about Europe or Asia or the Americas, everywhere where we go as black people, no matter which country we come from, the treatment is all the same and it's demeaning. So what do we do then to help our friends, our brothers and sisters on the continent to understand that there is no difference from an African from South Africa or from Ghana, because looking here in Europe, you see, when you are here, all the Europeans are treated the same, even in their laws towards education and favors and all these things. They treat Europeans first, right? But why can't we do the same in Africa? What can we do to help those on the continent to start appreciating all their brothers and sisters from different countries on the continent?
Yes, thank you once again, brother. The only thing that we can do is to tell them the right information, give them the real actualities, give them the realities on the ground here in Europe and the Americas and everywhere that we find ourselves. But some of us are still out here, but still with that same old mentality. And therefore, most of them will go through every problems that will be put on their ways, in their path, on their way to whatever they want to achieve here. But as soon as they get over there, then they forget about all the problems and every hurdle that they had to jump over before getting there. And then now that they have been given a little bit of, just a tiny bit of help or access to certain things, then all of a sudden they still go back and then see themselves as being part of them. So they will never, and some of them are even not are very much afraid to even speak out. Most of them are even afraid to speak out. So the African now must begin to question ourselves in the diaspora, that are you part of the African agenda, or are you identified? Do you see yourself being identified with the English or the French or the Portuguese or the Spaniard or the Italian? Where do you belong to? So we should, amongst ourselves, begin to sort things out, because we have so many in our midst that will sell us out, that have been selling us out, and therefore the first step is to try to find a way to sort ourselves out and see those who do not belong to us, who don't want to follow and pursue our agendas. Therefore, they need not to be part of our discussion.
Because some people argue like African, we are reactionary. Like when something happens, like people, when they show racism to us, or see like the event that we have seen just in China, we react and we make noise, and then 2 days later we forget about it and go back to our routine and divide again as normal, and that's how the enemy benefit and profit. But you still haven't answered my question as you answered this one. What do we say about the language? I hear that the African Union have passed the Swahili to be the African, the continental language. Do you think it's a good idea, or what do you have to say?
It is such a perfect idea, because I cannot be sitting here speaking to you, an African, with an oppressor's language. I cannot continue for the next 100 years as we have been doing. We need to start now, and the implementation is now the problem. Whether every government will accept and go ahead and put it in action.
But what makes it difficult? I see now in most countries, most universities, of course it's not only Africa, even here I've seen in all the campuses here in Denmark, people also, I think in also some other parts of Europe, that people are starting learning the Mandarin, the Chinese, the Confucius ideas and stuff. And even in Africa, people are running every university, everywhere people want to learn Chinese. What is difficult for our governments in Africa to start implementing this and put it into their school curriculums so that children can start learning Swahili from primary school to secondary? What is difficult to do that? And Tanzania, to add up, Tanzania have offered to give books and teachers to every country that wants to learn and teach Swahili. So now you're saying that it's difficult. What is difficult to implement this? Is it...
It's a leadership problem. It is the leadership that has been the puppet all these years in perpetuating the agendas of the West. And this is one area that they know that could everything that will bring Africa's unity is a challenge for them, and therefore they will do everything to make sure that they hold it back, or they come with something on it. On the surface, you will see everything reacting, but then in reality, you will never see it being implemented. Why? Because on the surface, it is good for the books. It is good for the media to know that, oh, it is accepted, everybody is going to get on board. But then behind the scenes, they go telling them different things, when to start it, the target areas, where you should begin from, and a whole lot of caveats are put onto that instance.
But the question I ask myself, can an African or even an Indian or a Chinese come here in Europe and start making agendas for Europeans, or telling Danish, for example, this is what you need to do, this is it. Why is it, what do they give to our leaders that they put other people's interests ahead of their people's own interests in the continent?
Our leaders are still in their colonial minds. Our leaders are always invited to the Paris, to the Britain, to the London, to wherever, and then they are made to feel that they are part of them. Because when they go there and they sit on the same table with them to have dinner, that is the only thing the African needs. Then he thinks he's part of them. So most of these leaders have been brainwashed in such a way that they think they are part of them, and therefore everything that they say is in their interest, but it's never, and it has never been in the interest of African when the white man speaks. Because if the continent has been of an interest in the positivity to them, Africa wouldn't be like it is today, because over the last 500 years, everything that they needed has been given to them. What have we gotten back? Nothing.
That's the question. 400 years of slavery, almost 200 years of colonialism, 60 years of new colonialism. We've suffered. People have taken everything from us. And there is somebody who was calling me yesterday, and I was very mad. Very mad, because he was telling me, oh, I'm calling from Save the Children. Do you think it's a good idea we go and save children in Africa? And I was asking him, I come from Africa. Save the Children, the only thing I can see with them is driving in big cars in Africa and renting big houses. But those children they save, I don't know where they are. It's just businesses. When you go around here, you see pictures of African children everywhere. And our leaders, they come here, they see this. Aren't they ashamed of this?
Yes.
But why do they continue perpetuating these things then? And when
have you heard the African Union coming into consensus to fight the West about this so-called using the African child's image to collect monies and all these things? They are not complaining because they know it's business, and they are all the time being given the leftovers, and they are fine with it.
But there are poverty in Bangladesh, there are poverty in India, in Asia. There are so many other children who are in hunger. But they don't take, I've been in Europe now for almost 10 years. They don't take the pictures of their children like for business around here because their countries will not allow it. But our president, they enjoy this. Aren't they ashamed of that?
Yes, of course. They are not, because they have been made to believe that they are part of them. It is only the hierarchy in Africa that thinks that they are part of it, and therefore everything that they do is first to serve the interest of that of the queen, is to serve the interest of the French, is to serve the interest of their colonial masters. That is why they don't care about what goes on in Africa.
This house the Negro, as Malcolm X would call them, right?
Yes, so it is until the African, the local African, like now, we who are not in any helm of affairs are speaking our minds. It is until we go down there to tell them about the real truth and what the politicians tell them, and show them the proofs of what we have been through here. Going through documentation, going through language studies, going through job situations, and all these things that we go through here before they will get to know a bit of what is said to them, and then what we live and bear witnesses to over here in the West.
So if I hear you correctly, you are saying like the civil society is the way to go. But other analysts are saying also that even the civil society is compromised, because then there are these thousands and thousands of NGOs on the continent using these so-called NGOs, and these NGOs are also working with the civil society, and this civil society, instead of defending the interests of their people, they have also joined this wagon of selfish leader, the bourgeoisie, to perpetuate and advance the interests of foreigners. How do we deal with this, my brother?
We can never use any civil societies as you're saying. All of what we have to use is ourselves. I tell my friend, I tell my family, I tell a classmate, and then that is how we are going to go.
So we need to visit universities, visit churches, talk to the masses, right?
Yes, and although it will take long, but then we will get it, because it has been 500 or so years. And we should also be thinking of the next 100 years to turn things around to slowly or in any way.
As Dr. Professor Lumumba always says, it's not imperative that we see it, but we need to plant the seed so that even if it is the next generation or the other next generation, at least they can learn from what we had to say, right?
Yes, because when you come into my village, you will see an old person at the age of 90 years planting trees, and you ask him, why are you planting these trees? Because you may not even
eat the fruits of this.
Enjoy the shade of these trees. And then he says, it is not for me, but it is for them. And therefore, I need to do it for them to enjoy it. So what we have started is it's not for us to witness or to see drastic changes in our lifetime, but it is for the future, just like some leaders whom we always make mention have paved the ways as to where we are now. And therefore, we need to also take the second step in paving certain ways for the generations to come. So we ought to make it a point and a priority that we will, from now henceforth, be using every media available to us, not the mainstream media. But now, as we are speaking now, it is going to be on YouTube or in other platforms. we are using them. We are saying it to them personally, and then media-wise, and every opportunity that we get, we have to let the African know that you need to set up, because 500 years is more than enough for you to realize that nobody can help you out but yourself. And therefore, now we have COVID organic in Africa, because Africans have realized that all these years, viruses that were impounded on us and then brought up the so-called solutions of no solutions, which were the remedies, never worked. Rather, it led us into other things. So now that we have realized that Madagascar has taken the lead, Senegal is there bringing us some test kits which are cheap and easier to use. But the only thing that these Western powers think of is money.
Exactly.
And therefore,
But
when an African man produces something, they know that the African is so godly that he only thinks but not himself, but others. And therefore, he will give it out to others for free, which the so-called West does not like it, because everything has economics to it. COVID organic produced in Madagascar has been given to certain African countries for free, of no charge.
exactly, that's how our traditional healers, whom you call today, you call them witch doctors, right? Our traditional healers never asked for any money, any payment. They heal you if you feel like you just want to say thank you, you do so. But why don't we understand that as African, that these people are just doing business on us by imposing us some kind of medicine, which in the first place they know are not curing us, but because they know if they give you a medicine that will cure you, heal you, yeah, you will not buy again. So it's just a kind of a circle. Why don't we understand this and start giving some value and credit to our own medicine and our own herbs and so on and so forth? I think also the churches and the religious leaders have something to do, because they are the people who have been always teaching us, like whenever you use traditional medicine, like it's a sin, it's a witchcraft, it's this and that. How do we deal with that as we conclude, my brother?
Oh yes, because they are all the tools that the powers that we have used all these years. The tools that they have used in perpetuating all these crimes and all this brainwashing is a vast kind of tools around the health professional, everywhere, the priesthood, the government, the school systems that they brought to us. Everything was used to propagate their agendas. So our preachers and all these people, that it is about time that African must be told to do and believe in what works for him or himself. Now, Madagascar is saying, we have these cases, no deaths. This is our proof, because we use this medication or this solution.
Yeah. But why are African leaders hesitant? And I hear the so-called World Health Organization, Africa, which I think those who are in charge are Africans, now condemning what is happening in Madagascar. How do we deal with this, my brother? How is it that our African, he's giving the drugs to them free of charge? But if they were given this as debts from other countries, they will run for it. But because it is done, because who are they fearing? If they take this medicine, will they be killed? Let's just talk like ourselves. If, for example, Ghana or Nigeria or Congo or any other country orders this medicine from Madagascar, what will happen? Will the president be killed?
I don't know.
And what are they afraid of? There is not a person who have died in Madagascar. The president have been using this, and all other people. I saw the delegation of the government of Tanzania when they were there. They took that medicine. They didn't die, you know. But what are what are African leaders afraid of? You know, it can't get into my head.
No, because of how they have been made into just figureheads, but it is them who are sitting behind and pulling the strings. Because most of these are in for going in for loans. They are going in for so many things, and all the loot, all the stuff that they looted, our own president and their officials looted, were deposited in these countries. So most of them are. It is until the African chooses a leader who has no investment in anywhere other than the African continent. Many of our leaders will never be able to stand up to the imperialists. No, many of them, because all the loot and things that they stole from their people have been placed over there. So if you are speaking and you are not careful, you end up losing everything. And they are so materialistic in the sense that they just enjoy being driven around in this big stuff, so they would never risk it. But why would you think that a country who hasn't recorded any single death is giving you a solution and you are pushing back? That
sure.
in itself tells us that there must be something big time wrong with ourselves. And therefore, that is what the African must know, that this is why, because they don't care about you. This is why, because they are in for their own selfish gains. This is why. And therefore, the way to go is to ignore them. The way to go is to find a way of reaching out to everything African that we think works for us. Like now, if we have our own way, we will be distributing and buying them either online or wherever through to anybody on the continent who seeks to.
I think you've said it now. You've said it. I think Madagascar government, if they can, let's just sell this thing on online on a website or something like that, so that individuals from all over the continent can just buy for themselves. Because our government, for sure, they have proven that they don't care about us. They just care about the interests of those whom they serve and not us. So it should be easy. It should be the government of Madagascar should make it easy for individuals across the continent to buy this. And I think even those of us who are in the West here could also order some of these.
Yes, that could be one of the ways out. And then we also have to have dealership, people who will be able to go over there and then import or export some from there.
Yeah, distributors, yeah.
Yes, distribute, because until we get to that point, in as long as we are still, most of us are still hoping for our president to accept it, that will not happen in any time soon.
So it means we are on our own and we must act quickly to save our own lives.
Of course. That may not be happening anytime.
We are running out of time, my brother, so I want you, if you have a last word about the unity of Africa and you want to say anything to our viewers, so you have the mic and you can conclude this session today.
Yes, thank you once again, because it is until we change our mindset, it is until we change how we see ourselves, everything African will never come to fruition. And therefore, all what I want to tell my fellow African brothers and sisters is that we need to start ignoring the so-called leaders, the so-called authorities, the so-called people in high positions, and the so-called World Health Organizations and all these bodies, but look within ourselves and see what works for us, not what works for them, and who is who to approve, give an approval of what. All these medication that they have been bringing to us over these years, which have been giving us many side effects, were they not approved by the so-called World Health Organizations?
That's the question. That's the question.
Yes. But they have never worked for us. So now we have the African solution. Most of our people are standing up, and therefore we need to stand up for ourselves too. So that is what I would like to conclude with and say thank you very much again. But the African must see and live up to things that help him or herself, not what somebody tells you that may work for you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Not something that others tells you that it works for you. So we need to start learning Swahili, those of us who can. And when there is a solution from Africa, we must support it, whether our leaders are for it or not. It's our lives which are in danger. It's our lives and the lives of our children. So we must take responsibility of it. Thank you so much, my brother, and have a nice day. We will meet again in our next session. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Dad.org. Dad.org is a platform for buying and selling anything, anywhere, anytime. So, making money the really, really easy way. In fact, it's easier than falling asleep.
It's swift, secure, and easy. Dad.org, transforming lives.